Outside this factory in northern Italy, workers are into their second year of protest. They set up camp in July last year in order, they say, to defend their jobs and the future of an entire region. We're just a few kilometers outside Milan, Italy's economic capital and the heart of one of Europe's most industrialized regions.
We've been here since July 2011. We're organised in shifts, just like when we used to work at the factory. There are morning, afternoon and night shifts. And we cook, we prepare something to eat. We're here all day long, waiting for the situation to be resolved.
More than 300 workers have lost their jobs at this factory owned by US multinational Jabil. The workers are also holding on to the machinery because if it's removed, that would mark the end of any industrial activity here. What they want is a buyer. Nokia, located in the same building, is also about to leave. Alcatel and others nearby have announced heavy cuts. Union representative Roberto Malanca underlines the strategic importance of this industrial region.
This was, and for us it still is, a very important area in the telecommunications sector. There are many, many factories in this region, producing devices for the entire world. And most importantly, they had many projects going.
High labor costs, high taxes and transport costs. These are some of the reasons investors decide to leave. Added to that is slow bureaucracy coupled with political and legal uncertainty. This steel factory directly employs 1,000 people and provides thousands more jobs around the northeastern city of Udine. It is part of the Danieli Group, the world's third largest supplier of equipment and plants to the steel industry. This multinational was born here and wants to expand, even though it would be cheaper to invest in their other plant in Croatia. Today the company can afford to spend the 300 million euros necessary to grow. But they haven't been able to go ahead without authorization for a new power line, which has been dragging on for years.
We've been waiting for the go-ahead for this new power line for 9 years. Without it, the plant can't grow. And if the expansion work doesn't go ahead, we'll probably have to delocalize to another country. We're running out of time.
Even if it takes another couple of years, would there still be time?
Even if it took only a couple of months, we are running out of time.
The Italian bureaucracy's snail-like pace is a heavy burden for the local industry, made worse by the slow judiciary system. And the state is certainly not a fast payer. Back in Lombardy, in the small city of Erba, Italian textile company Mectex is now close to bankruptcy. In recent years, it has invested heavily in research into futuristic textiles. This paid off and Mectex won several large orders from around the world. The company flourished and started repaying its debt, but when the crisis hit, the banks wanted their money back and the company fell short of liquidity.
The global financial crisis meant the banks wanted to recover their credit more rapidly, and we didn't have enough time to cope. In 2010, we delivered a couple of large orders to the Ministry of Defense. To this day, we still haven't been paid.
Small companies, which represent nearly 90% of northern Italy's industry, have been especially hard hit by the credit crunch. Italy's internal stability pact means local government can't boost economic activity by saving money. The mayor of this town recently announced his decision to violate the law. He explains why.
This terrible law doesn't allow you to spend more than what you've earned during the year, minus debt repayment and budget surplus. Each administration usually views the budget surplus as a little treasure. If you subtract this, our hands are tied. In our case, we have 1.2 million euros of budget surplus, and yet we can't even afford to repair the potholes in our roads.
This is one of the last remaining small businesses in town. This company sells scissors to Germany. Each piece is manually controlled before being sent abroad. The steel used comes from verified sources in Europe. Despite such high-quality produce, the company can't afford a long-term perspective. Clients don't come easy. Selling to big distribution chains, for example, is difficult in Italy, and they always pay late. So, while they wait for their money, businesses have to turn to the banks for cash. But banks aren't keen to lend right now, and they play by their own rules. Here's an example.
For example, a German bank established in Italy will demand a 5% margin from an Italian entrepreneur, but would probably only want 3.8 to 4% in Germany. I can understand why a big German bank would favor its own entrepreneurs. Here in Italy, we now have plenty of foreign banks, so we are paying for this.
Trade unions are worried about the state of small business in northern Italy. Recent data, which says that for every business that closes, 10 new ones open, is just a smokescreen, according to Giacinto Botti, head of Italy's biggest trade union.
Many small and medium-sized businesses, which were the bone structure of the production system, are dying out. Others open up, but these new businesses have no prospect at all. They're just auto-entrepreneurs born from the crisis, which will close shop after a very short time.
Many people, after losing their jobs in the crisis, tried setting up their own businesses. But for all the reasons mentioned above, this has often ended in failure. And there are fewer and fewer alternatives. The unemployment rate, which used to be one of Europe's lowest at below 4%, has nearly doubled. Italy's tentacular organized crime is taking advantage of the situation to consolidate its presence in northern Italy.
On the one hand, there are large amounts of assets linked to criminality, from drug sales, extortion and other criminal activities. On the other hand, some businesses, mainly in the north but also in other parts of Italy, need this money for several reasons. They are deep in crisis, the state is not paying up, and banks are reluctant to give them credit. So what does this mean? Criminals need businesses to launder their dirty money, but also to make some productive investments. And businesses want to keep jobs alive.
Facing tough economic and industrial challenges, northern Italy, which remains its richest region, is viewed by many today as a barometer of Europe's economic and social health.